The vendor is compliant with all city ordinances. Your association has no jurisdiction here.
This is a residential zone. I demand that this unauthorized vending cease immediately.
The morning they slapped the 5th bright orange ticket on my mom's little coffee cart, the air was so cold my breath looked like smoke over the steam. The HOA golf cart rolled up with its flashing amber light, tires crunching on the rough asphalt. I could smell fresh espresso and diesel from the trash truck down the block. The compliance lady, Karen in a neon vest, slapped the laminated ticket on the side panel like she was tagging a getaway car and said, "This is your last warning, vendor." I stared at her, hands wrapped around a hot paper cup, and counted under my breath. This was ticket number 5 in 10 days. For blocking HOA property. Except my mom's metal cart sat on the city sidewalk, exactly 2 feet from the curb, right where her permit said it should. It was May 3, 2024, 6:12 a.m., and I had already been up since 4:27 a.m. helping set up. My mom's hands shook as she poured coffee for the construction guys. She whispered, "Maybe we should just move." I felt my jaw lock so hard it hurt. On the 6th day, Karen rolled up again, waving a clipboard like a weapon. She slapped another ticket on the umbrella pole, making the cups rattle. "That's 6 violations now. Next step is removal," she said, loud enough for the whole street. One of the neighbors shut his front door fast, like he didn't want to be seen even looking at us. Another gave me that sorry look and then pretended to check her phone. This whole mess could be summed up as HOA ticketed the sidewalk vendor 6 times, too bad I am the city attorney, and it was about who really owned that strip of sidewalk. I tried to do it the easy way first. I went to the next HOA board meeting, sat in the folding chair under the buzzing fluorescent lights, and waited through 40 minutes of arguments about mailbox color. When it was finally my turn, I kept my voice calm. The sidewalk is city right-of-way. My mom has a valid vendor permit. Here are copies. The board president didn't even look at the papers. He just said, "The board already voted. No vendors. Our CC and RS are clear." A guy in the back whispered, "Don't push it, they can fine you," and stared down at the carpet. I sent follow-up emails. No response. The tickets kept coming. They thought I was just the vendor's kid. They forgot my day job. That night, at 9:00 p.m., I cleared off my dining table and drew a line in my own head. Enough. I promised myself I'd use proper channels only. No screaming matches. No drama they could twist. Just law. Timeline item 1 April 5 at 4:27 a.m. false trespass call. I wrote it down in big letters. Then timeline item 2 April 12 3 a.m. first fake obstruction ticket. Timeline item 3 April 18 20 a.m. police called, no violation found. I lined up photos, emails, and call logs in a binder. The next morning, I drafted a public records request on my work laptop. I asked for every complaint from that HOA about sidewalk vendors in the last 12 months. A week later, the clerk sent me a link. When I opened it, my heart did a slow, angry flip. The file landed with 63 pages. 11 separate complaints. All from the same name, Karen, chair of the compliance committee. Same 3 lies over and over, blocking emergency access, selling without a city permit, threatening residents. Patterns of false reports can be prosecuted. That is not a fancy phrase. It is a very simple line in the law. I built my case like I was going to court. Photos of the cart inside the legal distance from the curb. Copies of my mom's vendor permit. City maps showing the sidewalk as public right-of-way, not HOA land. Police call logs where officers wrote "no issue found." I turned all of it into a clean memo on city letterhead and submitted it to my boss, the actual city attorney, with one question: is the HOA allowed to ticket or remove licensed vendors from city sidewalks? His reply came back in under an hour. No. In fact, they can be fined for interfering with permitted city business. So we set the trap, legally. I scheduled a joint visit with a city code inspector and a patrol officer for a normal busy morning. No sirens. No drama. Just quiet note-taking. I told my mom to do what she always did: pour coffee, hand out churros, smile. At 6:45 a.m., right on cue, the HOA golf cart rolled into view. Karen jumped off like she owned the whole block, vest flapping, clipboard ready. "You have been ordered to leave, vendor." She grabbed for the umbrella pole to peel off yesterday's ticket and slap on a new one. The officer stepped between them, calm but firm. "Ma'am, I need you to stop touching the cart." His body cam was on, little red light blinking. The inspector opened his folder and said, "Also, ma'am, this sidewalk is city property. This vendor is fully licensed. Your HOA has no authority here." I watched the color drain from her face. Homeowners started slowing down, phones lifted. One neighbor whispered, "Wait, are we the bad guys?" Someone else laughed under his breath. The officer read from the report I helped put together. "We've documented repeated false complaints from you as chair of the HOA Compliance Committee." Karen tried to spin it. "We were just protecting our property values." The inspector shook his head. "You've been interfering with lawful city business and harassing a permitted vendor. Per city code, today you are receiving a citation." He handed her a paper. The cameras caught everything. A construction worker muttered, "Man, this is going on TikTok," and I heard 3 separate phones ping at once. The board president, who had walked over in his robe, stood there frozen while the officer explained the fine amount, $3,500 against the HOA for repeated nuisance complaints and unauthorized enforcement actions. The video blew up in our neighborhood group chat first. Then someone posted it to a local Facebook page, and a teenager turned it into a meme. HOA versus mom's coffee, guess who lost? Comments poured in. People I had never met wrote things like, "That vendor saved my mornings for a year, leave her alone." At the next HOA meeting, there were more homeowners than chairs. Nobody wanted to talk about mailbox colors anymore. They wanted to know why their dues were paying for Karen's crusade. The board asked her to step down as compliance chair that same night. A month later, things felt different on that street. No more orange tickets. No more golf cart creeping along the curb at dawn. The city required the HOA to send a letter to all residents admitting they had no authority over the public sidewalk and promising not to interfere with licensed vendors again. Karen kept her house but lost her little kingdom. My mom bought a new warmer with her extra tips and started giving out free churros on Fridays. She told everyone, "My lawyer is my kid," and then she'd wink at me. I just breathed in the smell of coffee and fresh bread and watched kids ride scooters down the same sidewalk we fought for. Please follow for more HOA showdowns like this. Do you think she got what she deserves? Comment below.